Hello, I'm Ryan Walker. Welcome to Free Drum Lessons. This is episode 4 called Tapping and Doodling. Today I don't have any drums with me. I have, for some reason, a bunch of fake flowers and old TV monitors, but we're going to talk about something you can do without any drums, without any drumsticks even, a way for you to practice without making any sound really, or to make as little sound as possible. So this is something, if you start playing the drums, and even after probably a few weeks, you'll start to notice that you have this undeniable urge to start tapping, as they usually call it, which is you might want to use your hands and start, hitting the kitchen table while you're eating, or you find yourself, you're hearing a song on the radio and you're hearing this beat in your head. Starting to hear those drummer little subliminal messages that drummers receive once they get going in that mind frame. It's hard to describe if you're not a drummer, but drummers know what I'm talking about. You start to hear, not voices, but I guess rhythms and beats in your head. So at first, when you don't necessarily have great control over your drumming muscles yet, this might manifest itself in some kind of loud and obnoxious tapping. Like I said, I remember getting yelled at by my dad, I think, at the kitchen table, tapping with my feet or my hands, but doing it in a really loud way. So there's ways you can do this without making noise, and it's a really quick and easy way to practice, and cheap too, that you can do in class while you're waiting for whatever, better than an iPhone app. You can do this for free and without an iPhone to kill time. So first thing to do is just use your belly bongos, or your thighs, or whatever, something that's cushiony and won't make any noise. Body's there all the time with you, so that's what I usually do. And you can practice a lot of your hand strength techniques just with your hands and without any sticks. Like, for example, you could just practice a single stroke roll, same way we were talking about before with the rudiments, going from slow to fast, right? So it's the same concepts. You're using the same muscles and building up your technique. So you could do single stroke roll from slow to fast and then back to slow. You can do double stroke rolls. Paradiddles. You could do flams, double flams, etc. That's on the belly. Another thing that you can use is your feet. And this is great for strengthening your bass drum muscles if you're going to eventually play some drum set. It takes a while to build up the muscles in your ankle and in your feet to be able to strike the bass drum nice and solid, right? So it won't hurt to start just giving it one of these, right? You're sitting around in class, or you're working, whatever, waiting for a doctor's appointment. This would be pretty obnoxious, right? But you can do this in a quiet way, maybe without shoes. But even with shoes, you can find a way to do this in a pretty silent, unobtrusive way, so people you don't drive people nuts. But you could just do single strokes like that. You can start doing double strokes with your feet. Maybe I'll do it with the sandals so it makes a little noise for us to hear. So double strokes like that you can practice. Another fun thing to do is kind of going from front to back. So 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and see how fast you can get that going. It's just another strength building exercise that will come in handy, and you won't regret it. So that's a fun one. So yeah, tapping and doodling. One more I want to share with you. This is not necessarily a practice thing, but something I just find myself doing. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one, maybe. But I'm a gum chewer, and so I find myself furiously chewing my gum in rhythm. So hopefully you can hear this in the microphone, but I'll do a little example. It's going to be very embarrassing. So. Wow, I just did that in front of people. Something I don't really tell very many people about, but here we are. So I can't control that. I'm doing that kind of all day, little confession. So beware, you want to play the drums, you're going to start hearing the rhythms in your head, and you'll have to start tapping and doodling. But the more you do it, you'll get under control and be able to do it in a very silent way. Like this is a good one I do a lot, just using your 2 fingers here. And I'll practice songs like this. Like if I have a show at night, I might be doing this during the day, going over my parts and just making sure I've got all the rhythms kind of in my head, and I can just repeat them when I need to. So that's tapping and doodling. Free drum lesson number 4. Be back in a minute with lesson number 5. Thanks. That probably looked really weird.
Oh, I'm scared.
Did you get a good shot of that? The teeth?